Hello, my name is Wojciech Marusiak. I am Solution Architect at Alibaba Cloud. In today's demo, we will take a look at Alibaba Cloud VPN Gateway. Without further ado, let's get started. What is VPN Gateway? VPN Gateway is an Alibaba Cloud service that allows to interconnect a local data center or a remote client to a VPC through an encrypted tunnel. Alibaba Cloud supports both IPsec-VPN and SSL-VPN tunneling modes using VPN Gateway. What are the Alibaba Cloud VPN benefits? It provides high security through usage of IPsec and SSL protocols. It provides high availability using the active standby deployment mode. VPN Gateway automatically goes into the failover mode within 1 second. This minimizes any outages on customer side. It is a low-cost solution. We provision using the traditional internet infrastructure while encrypting communication using the tunnels. It's easy to use. VPN Gateway is simple to implement and any configuration changes take effect immediately. Alibaba Cloud VPN supports various scenarios. For example, site-to-site connections, where we connect from Alibaba Cloud to local data center. Multi-site connections, where we have one or more data centers or local sites connected. Customer can create as well virtual private cloud to virtual private cloud connections. Or customer can connect many devices to a single VPN gateway, for example, for mobile phones, computers, or laptops. When we configure the VPN gateways and VPC connectivity, it is sometimes good to write down our local range, remote range, our public gateway, our VPN gateway, public IP addresses, VPC IDs, and so on. This might be really helpful in terms of the troubleshooting and creating the configuration. In advance, I created 2 VPCs, 2 switches, and 2 ECS instances in 2 Alibaba Cloud regions, one in Germany, Frankfurt, and one in the United Kingdom, London. Let's start with the VPN gateway creation. As you see on the screen, I already created one VPN gateway in United Kingdom. However, let's create a new one. We click the Create Gateway, and we have to select the region first. We provide the gateway name, we have to select the VPC which will have this VPN gateway created, peak bandwidth, and I think this is the one of the most important part. We have to select IPsec-VPN for the VPC to VPC or site-to-site connectivity, and SSL-VPN for the client devices to connect. When we click Buy Now, the VPN gateway will be created and ready for us to use. After around 2 minutes, VPN gateway with the new IP address was created. However, we will use our previously created VPN gateway. The second step will be create a customer gateway. In our network topology, we have 2 VPCs, one in VPC Germany, Frankfurt, and one in United Kingdom, London. Those 2 VPCs have different subnets, and we will interconnect them together. We have 2 VPN gateways with the public IP addresses. We will interconnect them with the IPsec tunnel. On each side, we have to create so-called customer gateway. Customer gateway will be the public IP interface from the German VPC. Let's create it. Let's do the same configuration in Germany. Click Create Customer Gateway. We provide the name. And we click OK. We just finished the configuration of both customer gateways in 2 locations. So just to recap, in Germany, Frankfurt, we've entered the public IP address of the United Kingdom gateway. In United Kingdom, we created a customer gateway with a public IP address of the German gateway. The last step would be to create the IPsec tunnel between the 2 locations. So how do we do it? In both locations, we have to go to the IPsec connections and create the IPsec connection. We have to provide the name of the IPsec connection. We choose our VPN gateway. In our case, it's VPN Gateway United Kingdom. And we have to provide the customer gateway from Germany. The first step would be our local private IP subnet. The next section is the local network part. We provide our local VPC IP subnet. In the next step, we provide remote network IP subnet, so the resources we will try to reach. Of course, we can add more local networks and more remote networks. We want this connection to be effective immediately, but we have to configure a few extra settings here. We have to provide the pre-shared key, and the most important part is that we have to have the same configuration on both sides of the tunnel. I'm not gonna dig into the encryption algorithm. Definitely you can get those parameters from the networking or the security team. We don't have to fill in the local ID or remote ID. This will be automatically filled in. We click OK. At the moment, the connection status is failed. I mean, it's not working because we didn't configure the other part of the tunnel. What is important, when you click Download Remote Configuration, you can see how our configuration looks like, and you can easily compare with the other part of the IPsec tunnel. Let's switch to the Frankfurt region. So in Frankfurt, we have to create IPsec connection. We provided the name of the IPsec connection. We have to select the VPN gateway and the customer gateways. Our local network will be this subnet, and our remote network will be subnet from United Kingdom. We enable the IPsec tunnel immediately. We have to provide the same settings in the IPsec tunnel. So let's choose the same settings, encryption algorithm. And let's hit OK. As you see, the tunnel immediately is connected. In case you will face any issues with the connection status, I encourage you to double check the remote configuration. It's extremely helpful and you can easily spot the errors. As well, in the troubleshooting, it's very useful to see the logs. What is happening? You will see some errors here which could guide you, which could point you to the possible error in the setup. So this is what we did as of now. We created two VPN gateways with the public IP addresses, one in Germany, Frankfurt region, and one in UK, London region. Then we created, in both VPCs, we created two customer gateways. So in Germany, we created UK customer gateway, and in UK, we created customer gateway with the public IP address of the German gateway. Our last step would be the routing configuration in both VPCs, so the resources between the two VPCs can access each other. Okay, our tunnel is working. Let's configure route tables. We click the route table. We have to select our VPC. In my case, it will be VPN -DE VPC. And we have to add route entry. We enter the remote CIDR block. We've entered the VPN gateway as our next hop type, and we've selected our VPN gateway. Let's click OK. It will take a moment to configure the route entry. Let's do it on the other side of the tunnel. We do the same configuration in United Kingdom. Route tables, manage, add route entry. Our next hop is VPN gateway, and we select the VPN gateway. We click OK. We check now if we can reach the resources on the other side of the tunnel. We are now in the London region, and we'll try to ping the resources in the Frankfurt region. This is our UK virtual machine with this local IP address, so 143. And we'll try to ping the virtual machine located in Germany. The ping works. Now we will switch to the other region. This is our local IP address. We will ping the virtual machine located in United Kingdom. It works. Okay, we successfully finished the site-to-site connectivity. The next step in our demo is to configure the point-to-site VPN. What is it? So what we will do, in our VPN gateway in Frankfurt region, we will enable the SSL-VPN connectivity. We will configure the Android, iOS, Linux, Windows, and macOS, and we will be able to reach resources behind the VPN gateway. Let's start with the Android part. I will switch to my virtual machine, where we'll simply configure the VPN. In the SSL servers section, we have to create the new SSL server. We have to provide a name for it. We have to choose our VPN gateway and provide the local IP address range, so where our virtual machines or servers are located. We can provide more local networks, and for the client subnet, we have to choose different subnet. As this is pure OpenVPN configuration, we can choose the desired protocol, we can change the port, choose the encryption algorithm, and enable or disable compression. We click OK. SSL server was created. Now what we have to do is to create a client certificate. And our VPN gateway provide as well the SSL certificates for the clients. We have to download the certificates. As you see, there is a expiration date. When we click download, we have the public key, we have a certificate authority, and the private key. In the config VPN, we can see the settings configured previously. Once we downloaded the SSL-VPN certificate for the client, we have to import the configuration on the Android. I will switch to the Android virtual machine. I installed OpenVPN client. My SSL certificate and configuration is already downloaded. What we have to do, we have to click OpenVPN. We will import the OpenVPN profile. Profile was successfully imported. Let's click Add. What we have to do to connect is simply mark the checkbox. As you see, connectivity works without any issues. We have our private IP address, and we are connected to our SSL-VPN gateway. Let's see if we can access our local resources in the cloud. As you see, we are able to access resources from the VPC. Okay, now we will proceed with the macOS configuration. For macOS, I recommend the usage of the software called TunnelBleak. Once you have the TunnelBleak installed, what we have to do is simply double-click the OpenVPN config, and it will be added. We have to provide our password, and the configuration is already there. In order to connect, we have to choose our configuration. And we are connected. We can double check as well in the SSL server how many clients are connected as of now. And of course, we have to verify that our local resources from the VPC are accessible. Let's hit it, and it works. In the next section, we will configure the Windows 10 connectivity to Alibaba Cloud. On the Windows 10, I've installed the OpenVPN GUI client. So once we download our certificate configuration for the OpenVPN client, we simply have to copy all of the files into the OpenVPN config directory. Once we have the files in directory, in the OpenVPN GUI, we click Connect. You have to wait a moment, and we are connected. To verify that our VPN is working, we will enter our Nginx web page, and it's working perfectly fine. The next section will be the VPN configuration on the Linux server. Connectivity from the Ubuntu 18.10 to our SSL gateway. I already copied the OpenVPN configuration. We can see that we have all the files, so CRT, config of OpenVPN, and the certificate and the private key. In order to connect, we simply type OpenVPN config.ovpn, and the connectivity will start immediately. In the second window, I am logged in via SSH, and we can see that our VPN interface is connected. We can check if our server is reachable, and yes, using this URL, we can see that our website is accessible, so it works on all operating systems. In the last section, we will configure OpenVPN on iOS. There are two ways how we can deliver the OpenVPN configuration files. The first one is you can send them via email, which is less secure, and more secure way is to use iTunes and copy the files to OpenVPN. Once the files are copied, we click Done. I switch to my iOS device, and in the OpenVPN, we already see the profile imported. We have to click Add. And the profile has been added. In order to connect, we simply click the button and we are connected. The very last part is to check if we can access our browser. This concludes OpenVPN configuration on iOS. So, as a recap of the SSL-VPN gateway, we managed to configure Android, iOS, Linux, Windows, and macOS. Thank you very much. To Wojciech Marusiak, Solution Architect from Alibaba Cloud.